Okay. I think for the majority of the meeting, I'm going to be sitting down because, like I said, it's also a live stream, and so there's a link for anybody anywhere to join in as well. So that's out there. So welcome once again to NeurIPS Meetup 2019 for Port Harcourt. In a few minutes or so, you get to know what NeurIPS is, so we can go on from there. So the day session flow. So the first thing we're going to be doing is, of course, the introduction of the hosts and the AI community, understanding NeurIPS and NeurIPS meetups, and as well introduction of the day speaker. Of course, we're also going to be having contributed talk, and we're also going to be having invited talks from some of the published authors on renowned research websites. Two invited talks in fact, and of course, we'll just try to wrap up from there. So, but before I go on, I'm going to share the schedule with you once again. If you didn't get the schedule, so we can effectively know what's up. All right, so here once again is the schedule for the meeting. So welcome. Okay, sorry, this is day 2. Sorry. So this is for tomorrow's meeting. Let me quickly launch the one for day 1. All right. So once again, so this is the one for day 1. The first thing we're going to be going through is, of course, the introduction and the welcome address. The second thing we're going to be going through is the understanding NeurIPS and the NeurIPS meetup. The next thing we're going to be going through is, of course, we're going to be having a contributed talk from Mr. Philip Obiora, on importance of scientific research and technology. And we're having a brief break. And we're going to be having a brief talk on data professionals and opportunities for learners in developing country. And we're, of course, going to be having an invited talk on data sets, which is a Python library made by one of our authors that will be speaking to us today. And of course, we are going to be having an overview of cardiovascular disease using ensemble voting criteria, a paper written on that was accepted at Black in AI, the ongoing NeurIPS meetup. So just going to go through the presentation. So let's go. So introduction of the host and AI community. Once again, as seen on the flyer, this meetup is actually hosted by Port Harcourt School of AI. The Port Harcourt School of AI is an AI community, a learning AI community in Port Harcourt. It's focused on having to connect both practitioners and enthusiasts in the learning and AI learning space, and of course build competency while doing that as well. So we've been hosting programs for a while. We've been hosting meetups, we've been hosting events, workshop classes, just to make sure that all these are kind of centered around the collaboration and competency activities we preach, sort of. So we've been hosting programs for I think been around for about a year plus now, trying to make sure that the community is fairly active or active in any case. So I think that's that for that. Then understanding NeurIPS and NeurIPS meetup. So if you went through the article earlier, NeurIPS is actually an academic is actually an academic conference that holds yearly in Canada. So it's in fact the grandest of AI conferences of all, because this is where researchers and people who are practicing in the space get to meet. NeurIPS, yeah, let me just think I'll have to launch the website for us to see what's going on. But the full meaning there is neural information processing unit, I guess. I just hope I'm not wrong. But it's a free event, a non-profit event whereby the founders of the AI space themselves. We talk about people like Geoffrey Hinton, we talk about people like Yosha Buenjo, all of these people that actually founded the modern artificial intelligence we are seeing today. These are where these pioneers come and talk about the recent developments in artificial intelligence, how they are regulating this field and all of that. So for this year's one, as you can see, it started on the 8th of December and will be ending started on the 8th of December. I'll be heading tomorrow, the 14th of December, holding there in Canada. So as you can see, it's under the foundation, the Neural Information Processing Systems Foundation. It's a non-profit corporation whose purpose is to foster exchange of ideas on neural information processing systems in their biological, technical, and all of those things. So the idea of the conference really that holds here in Canada is just to bring together researchers and bring together practitioners to see what are the latest developments. People do all of their researches in their laboratory and all of those things, but these people come out there and kind of foster open research. So if you've made a progress A in artificial intelligence today, or you found a new method to solve a machine learning problem today, come into this conference, come and explain it, come and make it open, and let's see how we can either regulate it or we can have people that can make it better. Just to encourage and foster open research in the community, and that's what arguably fostered the AI growth today that we see. AI has kind of developed over the past decade or so, and it's one of the key reasons also because of the community. Most people do things and rather than keep it in their laboratory, like you see, fields like biology, fields like chemistry, and all of those things. Most of these people do a lot of private research, but in the AI space, it's all about open research. So you see someone make a grand breakthrough today that should actually bring them millions of dollars if they keep it to themselves, or instead they push it out there, and in the next month people are already building on that. People are already bringing up newer techniques on that. So yeah, NeurIPS is pretty much that conference where everybody gets to meet and everybody gets to talk about the latest advancement and see how they can push the field further. And one of the key reasons why this conference also came into play is because of what we call the AI winter. About 50 years back, about 40 years, I guess, back, they had what we call the AI winter. AI actually started as a term about 50 years ago, right? But over 10 years, there was this kind of over the next 10 years after the 50 years, there was this kind of score. So there was no improvement in any technique at all, no improvement in any methods, no algorithm were improved or things like that. No algorithms were improved or things like that. And that really went on for about 3 more decades until recently, in fact, in the 2000s, when we started getting newer advancements and all of those things. So kind of conferences like this were really made to make sure that such doesn't happen anymore. Such stall in growth of fields like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all of those things don't happen anymore. And that's one of the key reasons as well. So like I said, it started on the 8th of December, and of course, will be ending tomorrow. And if you come to their site here, you see a lot of their different schedules and everything. So if you come to their site, if you go to their site, nips.cc, you see their different schedules and everything. It ends tomorrow. So, but nearest meetups itself, uh, so we are also streaming, so I can't stop if this goes off. Yeah. So nearest meetups itself is more like they saw the need for people to attend these things. Not everybody can go to Canada, right? And all of these things around immigration problems and all of those things. Also they get to publish their paper, but they are not able to attend the conference because of visa problems and all of those things. So they saw the need to democratize activities like this. How can we make sure that people are not missing out, even though they are not in Canada or they are not in Vancouver? How can we make sure that people are still getting the real thing? And that's why they came about the concept of that was how they came about the concept of NeurIPS meetups themselves. NeurIPS meetups is in fact holding across different cities in not just Nigeria. We have some going on in Nairobi at different times anyway. We have one going on in Nairobi. We have one going on in Lagos currently, in Yaba, Lagos, and we have others going on in different parts of different parts of the world. This is just the need for accessibility and need to democratize knowledge or democratize what's happening in Canada to the rest of the world. We we have black people who were denied visas. We have authors. We have people who are meant to present and they were not there. So these people saw the need to just democratize that conference experience, sort of. Yeah, so nearest meetups, whether it's nearest meetups Lagos, whether it's nearest meetups Port Harcourt, whether it's nearest meetups Kigali, whether it's nearest meetups New York and all of those things happening everywhere around the world. Probably maybe different schedules and things like that. So this is actually our first nearest meetup Port Harcourt because we saw the need to not just have people who are enthusiastic as an AI community. We saw the need to not just have people who are enthusiastic building things with these technologies or learning how to build things with these technologies, but people who can actually do more research as well. Right? We actually took up this role because we needed to make sure that people are not just building stores, but they can also do research. We are not just looking at the engineering side of things, but how can people be more scientific in this space? How can people develop newer methods to do things in this space? Because you're not just going to be using and consuming. How can you produce and all of those things? So researchers are pretty much on the production end of things, kind of bringing out newer techniques and all of those things. And that's we know it's not entirely perfect. You know the nature of our education system in the country and all of those things. These things don't really foster our research mindset and all of those things. But anyway we can, I really think we can really go better. We can do better because we have Nigerians who are doing amazing stuff. In fact, people in Port Harcourt who are doing amazing stuff in the research industry and all of those things. And that's why one of the key reasons why I wrote about this meetup. Now, usually this meetup is actually meant to just be just streaming this event from Canada, stream everything that is happening in Canada. People watch. It's like a watch party. People watch another. But we thought of a different approach. We thought of having these local workshops as well, at least for the end of the year. Local workshop as well, at least for the end of the year, where people get to kind of get hands on locally as well. Not just watching, but interact with local experts as well. And that was why we figured, okay, let's hold local workshops, not just having to stream this event. Let's just hold local workshops as well. So I'm just going to, just before I continue, I'm just going to go to slides to view. So I'm just going to go to slides live. Slideslive.com. So slideslive.com is where NeurIPS is actually holding the streaming conference now. So I think I have to. So the conference is currently streamed here at slideslive.com. As you can see, there are lots of different sessions currently occurring. So you have if you are interested in any one of them, you have biology and artificial reinforcement learning. You're actually in the space before. You have all of those things and you see the schedule time and all of those things. So the reason why we can't stream most of these ones, especially if you actually register for the event, that there were actually different categories that were meant to stream. But the reason why we can't stream a majority of these categories is because of the time zone difference. Right, most of them are happening towards evening period, while of course the event is kind of holding now. So you see most of these events. If you're interested in learning more or kind of streaming more, and you just digging deep into the this, because if you come here, if you come to the New 2019 calendar, you can see the conference and you can see the schedule as well. So if you're interested in any of these talks at all, maybe any of them resonate to your space, whether you're in the engineering space, whether you're in the physical sciences, you're in the medical sciences, clinical sciences, or things like that, I want to see how AI is actually advancing your space as well. You can come around here, search for um, search for workshops, talks, invited talks, and all of those things, or search the schedule itself. Maybe you're looking at medicine, for example. I'll search for medicine on the schedule right here, and I'll most likely see things related to medicine. So you see machine learning for computational biology. So you can come around here and say, okay, when is this holding? This I think this held about 9th. This held 9th, I guess. Okay, this held on the 9th. So you could easily the name here and come to the search bar on the slideslive.com/new/NeurIPS, as you can see on the listen there. Come to the search bar and just search for this. Oh, these are all ICLR. let me do this for NeurIPS. I'm just going to have the NeurIPS keyword there. All right, so as you can see right here, this is most likely one of the events. And although some of these events, okay, this is probably one of them. Huh? It's not I'm sure. They're not in. Oh. My great pleasure to introduce Donna here. Huh? Donna is the chair of computational assistive biology program at the Sloan Kettering Institute and one of the lead researchers in this field. She is also on the organizing committee of the Human Cell Atlas project. Her lab develops machine learning methods for the analysis and interpretation of single cell data. Donna has 4 awards. All right, so as I was saying, this is actually one of the talks, and if you're interested in this particular talk, you can just come around here and come and stream the talk, and it's I think available for download as well, and all of those things. So this is just one of the things. Like I said, we can't cover everything here, but if you're interested in one particular topic, whether it's AI, how AI affects your space or things like that, you can just come over to the schedule and look through the talks that are available, and you most likely are going to see the stream talk in Europe. But the only one the one we are going to be streaming is the one that people selected the most, which is of course machine learning for developing countries, which is actually happening today, actually happening this evening. Of course, we can't stay to this evening, so we are going to be downloading the recorded version tomorrow and streaming it tomorrow for people to talk because that's like the very very important key thing there. So once again, just come around here and most likely any of these live talks or recorded sessions as well is probably something that can resonate with you. And if you are very, very interested in, because it's not just about building things. Like I said, it's about coming up with newer methods. How can this industry, this AI industry affect my space and all of those things? If you're in the medical science, like I said, you can come around here. Information theory, graph representation, most of you in mathematics and all of those things, you see a lot of ways these newer technologies, newer methods can really affect or resonate with you a lot. Yeah. So I think we can move on to the next one, in fact, which is, of course, so how many of us do understand the concept of NeurIPS and NeurIPS meetups? Any one of us? So you can comfortably go to the nearest website now and look for talks that resonate, whether in your industry, whether you're in mathematics, whether in statistics, whether you're in the sciences or engineering and all of those things. There's always something to work out for you there. So that's also one of those things. So the next okay, so I think I've gone through all of those things. So the next thing we're going to be working on is the contributed talk, which is going to be given by Mr. Philip Obiora. So Mr. Philip Obiora is a PhD. Like I said, it's more about how we can bring people who are actually in the research space to come and talk to us about this. We're not bringing the badass engineers who are building things or we are building applications that run on machine learning and AI technology. We are trying to see how we can encourage and foster research and development, R&D, extremely crucial if we want to grow as a country. In fact, we shouldn't really just be the country that kind of consumes and consumes and consumes. And this is actually well applicable in the space in the space of machine learning. How can we be countries that kind of bring out newer methods that actually resonate here to people in Africa, here to people in Nigeria? Because all of these techniques we use, whether it's the framework we're using, whether it's the algorithms we're using, whether it's the tools we're using, most of these tools were developed by these guys in the European space, these guys and these scientific researchers, these European researchers, and all of those things. Most of these tools were developed by them. But how can we bring people? How can we develop researchers who can build things that are innate to Africa, innate to Nigeria, innate to Port Harcourt, and kind of develop new techniques for that and all of those things. So that's one of the key reasons why we are doing these things here. And the first one will be a contributed talk, of course, by Mr. Philip Obiora, who is of course the is a PhD student at the University of Port Harcourt, computer science. And of course, you should know that credibility in any case. He's also the co-lead of the Google Cloud Developer Community in Port Harcourt. So Google Cloud Developer